All right, it is 6:01, but we're going to call the public hearing to order. If everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Present.
Mr. Liscavige.
Here.
Mr. Lombardo.
Present.
McDermott. Here. Mr. McKinley.
Present.
Mr. Mitchell is absent. Mr. Perry.
Here.
Mr. Vogt.
Here.
Mr. Thornton.
Here.
Mr. Urban.
Here.
Mr. Willoughby.
Here.
10 and 11.
Okay, we now have public comment on the proposed ordinance amending the 2023 fiscal year budget for Luzerne County to transfer reserve funds to the Luzerne County Courts. I don't have any slips that say that anybody wants to speak. Everybody okay? Oh, wait, let me check my ID. No hands up. Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions, opposed? Okay, the public hearing is adjourned. All right, it's 6:03. We can call the voting session to order. We already did the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. We have a roll call, please, Ms. Lawrence.
Mr. Venus.
Present.
Mr. Liscavige.
Here.
Mr. Lombardo.
Here. Here.
Ms. McDermott. Here. Mr. McKinley.
Present.
Mr. Perry.
Here.
Mr. Thornton.
Here.
Mr. Urban.
Here.
Mr. Willoughby.
Here.
Ms. Vogt.
Here.
10 and 11.
We have two proclamations. The first is for John Fallonfeld, whereas John Fallonfeld is a graduate of New York University and Wilkes College and is the current president and CEO of Tryon Industries. And whereas John has fostered a giving culture while building success at Tryon, serving on the boards of Children's Service Center, Family Service Association of NEPA, Appleseed Foundation, and the United Way of Wyoming Valley. And whereas John was recently honored by the Children's Service Center for outstanding work to improve the lives of children and families in northeastern Pennsylvania. And whereas John's philanthropy throughout the years has left a positive impact on Luzerne County community. Now, therefore, we, the Luzerne County Council, do hereby honor, applaud, and congratulate John S. Fallonfeld and urge all citizens to join with us as we extend our sincere appreciation and best wishes for continued success in all future endeavors. Congratulations. The next one is for Walt Jones. Whereas Luzerne County was saddened to learn of the loss of county employee Walt Jones in June of 2020. And whereas Walt has served well and faithfully for 48 years in Luzerne County government for the Emergency Management Agency. And whereas prior to employment with Luzerne County, Walt served professionally in the armed forces as a special operations operator. And whereas during his service, Walt was wounded multiple times and received the Purple Heart with clusters. And whereas Walt exemplified the core values of public services and the performance of his duties and responsibilities of his job over these many years. Now, therefore, we, the Luzerne County Council, do hereby honor and applaud Walt Jones for his many years of public service to Luzerne County and the United States of America. And be it further proclaimed that all residents are encouraged as they contemplate the many contributions made to the County of Luzerne by this dedicated public servant and friend, be inspired to likewise commit their time and talents to the betterment of this community.
Excuse me, ma'am. My name is Dave Elmore. I'm the interim director of EMA. On behalf of EMA, we say thank you. We love this man. He volunteered when we were like, why are we still here? And he was still here. When we did the drills, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, and I'll leave shortly.
Go ahead.
When we had our drills, he said, wait until the real thing. Why? Because he saw the real thing. He was volunteering downstairs in civil defense in 72 flood. And then every single disaster after that, he was a fixture in our EOC. We are honored to know him and miss him. Thank you.
Attorney Steve, do you want to announce the executive session?
Yes, prior to this meeting, we had an executive session concerning two litigation matters. One having to do with an employment matter at prison, which we discussed possible settlement, and the other one we just generally discussed where we're going to proceed in that matter. Also, a week prior, we had a executive session concerning litigation with the board of elections.
Thank you, Attorney Steve. Any deletions?
Yeah, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion that we move item 5 of the work session to an item on the voting session. That's the item regarding the Act 13 discussion. I make that motion.
Second.
Roll call on moving item number 5, which is discussion regarding creation of a standing Act 13 committee. Mr. Thornton and Mr. Venus have a motion and a second to move that to the voting session. Can we have a roll call on that?
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes. Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Just a question. I thought since we have the Act 13 committee that is the same.
Yeah.
This is going to be separate.
Not a separate committee, no. It's a clarification of the existing Act 13.
Okay, all right. Yes.
I tried to set that email out to the group.
Sorry, what's your vote?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell? Excuse me, Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Ms. Swope?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes.
Hold on, just really quickly. So that would be number 7 under county council.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Opposed? Agenda is adopted. We now have public comment on voting session agenda items. I only have 3 slips up here. The first one is Ryan Sharp.
Yes, good evening, council members. My name is Ryan Sharp from USI Insurance Services, your risk management partner for your property and casualty program. I wanted to thank you on behalf of my teammates that work closely with Romilda, Jen, and Harry, that they were asking for your continued support in our final year of our contract. To continue with we had a 5-year strategic plan that I stood up here 2 years ago, and we're halfway through the plan, but we need more time. We need more time to continue to reduce your total cost of risk and focus on the issues that we're cleaning up for the property and casualty program. But just again, asking for your support and help to kind of get us to the 5-year strategic plan that we've developed here at the county and continue that progress and improvement and getting and taking great care of your people, but also reducing your total cost of risk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sharp, that's agenda item number 2. So if you just want to hang out until we get there in case there's any questions. Thank you so much. Mr. Griffin?
No, not agenda.
Okay. And then Dr. Richard Blum.
Good evening. I am Dr. Richard Blum. I'm a physician, having been practicing here in Wilkes-Barre for the past 45 years. I'm also a musician, having been playing locally for 60 years, and I'm also a pilot. And as such, I've applied for a position on the committee related to the operation of the 44th Airport. I took flying lessons initially
Make sure you can hear us.
I can hear you guys now.
Okay, perfect. And then
I can hear you.
Controller Griffin? Okay, good. We hear you guys. You don't hear Walter though.
Walter,
Yes, okay,
There
thank
we
you.
go.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the heads up. I understand the difficulty there. My comment is on item number 7 that was added to the agenda on the Act 13 committee. My comment from the controller's point of view is we're in the process of wrapping up our Act 13 Marcellus Shale audit. And I think it's really important that we have a standing Act 13 committee. Sharon did a commendable job with keeping track of everything that's happened with this Act 13 funding since probably 2013. Council's approved a lot of awards, a lot of projects, and she's kept a perfect track of everything that's going on. The lack of oversight, I think, is pretty important. So I think if the council would appoint a standing council committee, we would eliminate a lot of these problems that we have with the oversight. And also one of the things I want to bring to council's attention as well is the cooperation agreement that council approved back in 2017 has expired at the end of the year. So with an Act 13 standing committee, they could probably work with the Riverfront Parks Committee and the 2 universities to get that back in place. So we could be sure that that riverfront is kept in a pristine condition that it should be and it has been. So thank you very much for getting that on the agenda. I appreciate that. And I look forward to the council's affirmative vote on creating that committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public? I don't see any other hands up, so I think we're okay to move on. Motion to approve the minutes?
Second presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstention? Opposed?
No.
Minutes are adopted. Agenda item number 1, motion to adopt ordinance amending the 2023 fiscal year budget for Luzerne County to transfer reserve funds to the Luzerne County courts.
So moved.
second,
Roll call.
Mr. Venus.
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch.
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo.
Yes.
Ms. McDermott.
Yes.
Mr. McGinley.
Yes.
Mr. Perry.
yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Mr. Urban.
Yes.
Mr. Lovett.
Yes.
Ms. Swope.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion passes. Number 2, motion to adopt resolution approving a contract extension with broker USI Insurance Services for the insurance brokerage services for fiscal year 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Thornton and Woolwich. Roll call.
Mr. LaScavitch.
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo.
Yes.
Ms. McDermott.
Yes.
Mr. McGinley.
Yes.
Mr. Perry.
Yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Mr. Urban.
Yes.
Mr. Lovett.
Yes.
Mr. Venus.
Yes.
Yes. Number 3, motion to adopt resolution approving the settlement of pending litigation in the matter of Daniela D'Angelo versus Luzerne County.
Motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Lombardo.
Yes.
Ms. McDermott.
Yes.
Mr. McGinley.
Yes, against my better judgment.
Mr. Perry.
Yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Mr. Urban.
Yes.
Mr. Lovett.
Yes.
Mr. Venus.
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch.
No.
Ms. Swope.
Yes. Motion passes. Number 4, motion to introduce ordinance creating a commission on opioid misuse and addiction abatement.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Before we get into the roll call, using the word commission. Remember, we got into a big argument over the county sheriff's commission.
Mhm.
The committee be a better word wise, maybe not get into that mess that we did with the county sheriff's commission.
Attorney Skeen, can you weigh in?
For the, just for this ordinance,
For the opioid, yeah, if it should be committee or commission. What does it exist as already? Because I mean, it's already here.
Well, the funds have come in and they were meeting before it came to county council. But they were looking for whether county council was going to join in or not. They wanted to be there along with the individual that was in for the public.
Mhm.
So at the last meeting, we were asked to do an ordinance for a committee.
So
Committee or commission?
Yes, because we were referring to it as a committee for a while and now it's commission.
I make a motion, we change it to committee.
Second.
Okay, so it's an amendment to the ordinance that says, Mr. McGinley, everywhere it says commission, change the word to committee.
Please.
Okay, and Carl, that's how you want to second it?
Please, thank you.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to change all of the words, that's every place that says commission to committee. Can we have a roll call on just that?
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Ms. Swope?
Yes. Motion passes. So we have a motion and a second to pass it the way that it was. Is the motion and second still stand the way that it is with the amendment? Yes. Okay, can we have a roll call?
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott? Yes. Ms. Swope?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion passes. Number 5, motion to adopt resolution declaring a vacancy on the Luzerne County 44 Airport Advisory Board due to the resignation of a member.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Ms. Swope?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion passes. Number 6 are the nominations and appointments to the boards and commissions. So just a refresher, we need a motion to open the nominations.
Motion
And
to open nomination.
well, wait, I'm just going over the procedure really quick. We'll have to open the nomination, second for that, and then we'll have to nominate with a first and a second. Then we'll close nominations, then we'll do the resolutions. All
Tim's got
right,
it.
so there's already a motion, Mr. McGinley, is 3
Yes.
steps ahead. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions, opposed? Nominations are open.
I
move to nominate Richard Blum.
Second. Okay.
Nominate Mr. William
Hold
Brown.
on, wait.
No, sorry.
What was that?
Who was the second?
William
Mr.
Brown.
Venus?
Yeah, I say.
Okay, we have Dr. Blum. Who did you nominate?
Mr. William Brown.
Is there- Second? Reiner?
And I'd like to nominate Mr. John Cedar.
Second.
I'd like to nominate Amy. Go.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
Amy Frenchco? Is there a second?
Second.
Is that what John said?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeffrey Williams.
Oh, he was already.
No,
All right, I'm missing it.
that was fine.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions, opposed, nominations are closed. So we have 4 open spots and we have 5 nominees. So council, we'll go around the room and we'll give you a roll call vote and just try to go with the flow because you can only name one at a time. So if everybody's voting for candidate A and you are also eventually going to support that one, vote for that one first so we can kind of try to reach consensus if that makes sense. Roll call. First one, first spot.
On that. Mr. Williams.
Nope, you just name your nomination,
Yeah.
because there's 5 and there's only 4 open seats.
So you pick one of the 5, you do one.
Yeah, we'll do a roll call.
Mr. Thornton?
I only pick one.
Yeah,
Dr. Blum.
Mr. Urban?
Blum.
Mr. Lovett?
Dr. Blum.
Mr. Venus?
Dr. Blum.
Mr. LaScavitch,
Dr. Blum.
Mr. Lombardo,
Dr. Blum.
Ms. McDermott,
Dr. Blum,
Mr. McGinley,
Dr. Blum.
Mr. Perry,
Dr. Blum.
and Ms. Swope.
Dr. Bond. Okay. That's our first. On the next roll call on the next open spot,
Mr. Urban,
Mr. Griner.
Mr. Wilovich,
Mr. Griner.
Mr. Venus,
Mr. Griner.
Mr. LaScavitch,
Mr. Griner.
Mr. Lombardo,
Mr. Griner.
Ms. McDermott,
Mr. Griner,
Mr. McGinley,
Mr. Griner.
Mr. Perry,
Mr. Griner.
Mr. Thornton,
Mr. Griner.
Ms. Swope.
Mr. Griner.
10.
All right, that's all 10. That's our second spot. Let's go for the third.
Ready?
Yep.
Mr. Wilovich,
Mr. Seedor.
Mr. Venus,
Mr. Cedar.
Mr. LaScavitch,
Mr. Cedar.
Mr. Lombardo,
Ms. Frenchco.
Ms. McDermott,
Mr. Cedar,
Mr. McGinley,
Mr. Cedar.
Mr. Perry,
Mr. Cedar.
Mr. Thornton,
Mr. Cedar.
Mr. Urban,
Mr. Cedar.
Ms. Swope.
Mr. Cedar.
9 for Cedar.
One for French go. Okay, so our third spot goes to Mr. Cedar. Please just know that this last spot is the last one and there are 2 other nominees left. So the fourth seat roll call.
Mr. Venus,
Ms. Frenchco.
Mr. LaScavitch,
Ms. Frenchco.
Mr. Lombardo,
Ms. Frenchco.
Ms. McDermott,
Ms. Frenchco,
Mr. McGinley,
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Perry,
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Thornton,
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Urban,
Williams.
Mr. Wilovich,
Mr. Williams.
Ms. Swope.
French go. It's 5-5.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go again. French go or Williams?
Okay, one more time.
Yeah, let's try again.
Okay, Mr. LaScavitch,
Frenchco.
Mr. Lombardo,
Mr. Williams.
Ms. McDermott,
Mr. Williams,
Mr. McGinley,
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Perry,
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Thornton,
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Urban,
Williams.
Mr. Wilovich,
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Venus,
Mr. Williams.
and Ms. Swope.
Mr. Williams.
We have 1 from Frenchco and 9 from Williams.
Okay, so the 4 resolutions we'll need are Dr. Blum, Griner, Cedar, and Williams. Kind of a motion for the rest.
Close. Fill the foundation. Right.
Oh, we did that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We just need the nominee, the motion for resolutions. Yeah,
We make a motion to appoint Dr. Blum.
we will after the resolutions. Yeah.
Man, everybody's in a hurry.
Yeah, yikes, you guys are like, I'm fast. You guys are sweet alike.
Make a motion to appoint Mr. Dr. Blum as resolution.
Okay,
Second.
roll call.
Mr. Lombardo,
Yes.
Ms. McDermott,
yes.
Mr. McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Mr. Urban,
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich.
Yes.
Mr. Venus.
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch.
Yes.
Ms. Swope.
Yes,
Unanimous.
motion passes. We need a motion for Griner.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call for the resolution for Griner.
Ms. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Mr. Urban,
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich.
Yes.
Mr. Venus.
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch.
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo.
Yes.
Ms. Swope.
Yes,
Yeah.
motion passes for Cedar.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Mr. Urban.
Yes.
Mr. Wilovich.
Yes.
Mr. Venus.
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch.
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo.
Yes.
Ms. McDermott.
Yes.
Ms. Swope.
Yes,
Unanimous.
motion passes. And last one, Williams.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call.
Mr. Perry,
Yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Mr. Urban.
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Vote.
Yes. Congratulations to the 4 new members of the Luzerne County 44 Airport Advisory Board. Next, some more nominations. The Luzerne County and Schuylkill County Workforce Investment Board.
Move to open.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions, opposed, nominations are open.
Just a quick question. Are these positions, do they have to be, are they specific positions for each members?
There's criteria for it.
Right, I didn't see that. It just says 10 open, so.
Yeah, there's 10 open and these 5 meet the criteria.
They're also currently on the board.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, they're all reapplying for reappointment.
Okay.
The nomination is Jane Ashton.
We don't have to do them individually, no.
There's 10 openings and there's 5 of them.
Go ahead. Yeah, we could nominate them all at once. We
Do it.
can't do the resolutions all at once. We can do nominations.
Go ahead.
So just let me nominate all 5.
Great.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions, opposed?
Should we have named them?
Okay, Jane, so the nomination for all 5, Jane Ashton, Carmen Caillou, Mary Malone, Heather Nelson, and Michael Saporito. So council had a motion and a second to nominate all 5 members. Now we'll have to do the resolution separately.
Motion to close.
Oh,
Motion closed.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Opposed? Nominations are closed.
Now,
Okay, now we'll do the resolutions. Just do them in order on the way that they are on the list, if that's okay. So do we have a motion for Jane Ashton?
So,
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Thornton?
yes.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yep.
Ms. Vogt.
Yes. Motion passes. The next one is for Carmen Caillou.
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Ms. Vogt.
Yes. Motion passes. Mary Malone is next.
Motion. Second.
Kulovich, McGinley. Roll call.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Ms. Vogt.
Yes. Motion passes. Next, Heather Nelson.
So moved.
Second.
Urban McDermott. Roll call.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Here, yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Vogt. Ms. Vogt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motion passes. Next is Michael Saporito.
So move.
Second.
We'll give it for Thornton and McDermott. Roll call.
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Ms. Vogt.
Yes. Motion passes. Congratulations to the 5 standing members of the Workforce Investment Board. Next, we have the Luzerne, Wyoming County Drug and Alcohol Executive Commission.
Motion. Open nomination.
We'll do the community member first.
They don't have to be done with the titles, but that matched up what they qualified for.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We'll just do it that way, just because 3 are community and 1's elderly. So if we could do, okay, so no,
Motion.
open.
Open nomination.
Wait a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions, opposed, nominations are open.
I'd like to nominate Catherine Slipka.
Second.
I'd like to nominate Theodore John Fitzgerald.
Second.
Do a motion to close?
Motion to close nominations.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, we'll do the elderly next.
Want to do that separate nomination time?
Do that with the next chapter.
Can we just finish this one? So wait, we had a motion to close nominations. Do we have a second?
So moved.
Oh, a second. Is that okay?
Second, I'm sorry.
That's okay. All in favor? Abstentions opposed, nominations are closed. Okay, this is for the community member, and we have two, Catherine Silva and Theodore John Fitzgerald. We have a roll call?
One name, correct?
Yep, one name.
Mr. LaScavitch,
Catherine Silva.
Mr. Lombardo,
Catherine Slifka.
Ms. McDermott,
Catherine Silva.
Mr. McGinley,
Solka.
Perry,
Yes. Solka.
Mr. Thornton,
Theodore John Fitzgerald.
Mr. Urban,
Fitzgerald.
Mr. Lovett,
Ms. Silva.
Mr. Venus.
Ms. Silva.
Ms. Swope.
Ms. Silva?
Two for Fitzgerald and eight for Silva.
Okay, so Catherine Silva, will we do we'll wait to do the resolution. Let's do the nominations for the elderly member. Do we have a,
Motion to open nomination for the elderly.
all in favor, abstention, opposed, nominations are open.
I nominate Mr. Charles Blewett.
Second.
Motion.
Yep, we have a motion, second motion to close nominations,
Section closed.
second to close, all in favor,
Aye.
abstentions,
Aye.
closed, nominations are closed. We can. Skip right to the resolution.
Michelle.
Yep, we have to do we'll do a roll call. Yep, we'll do a roll call first for, just because we're on it, we'll do the roll call for the elderly member, Charles Blewett. Yeah, for the resolution.
No,
So you have to do a motion to appoint by resolution.
Yeah, that's what I looked, yeah,
That's what she's.
do we need first and second?
Motion.
Second.
roll call.
All right, Mr. Lombardo. For the resolution to appoint Mr. Blewett,
Yes.
Ms. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Perry,
Yeah.
Mr. Thornton,
Yes.
Mr. Urban,
Yes.
Mr. Lovett.
Yes.
Mr. Venus.
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch,
Yes.
Ms. Swope.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. So Charles Blewett will be the elderly member. And now for the community member, we need a motion for the resolution for Catherine Silva.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Thornton,
Yes.
Mr. Urban,
Yes.
Mr. Lovett,
Yes.
Mr. Venus.
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch.
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo,
Yes.
Ms. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Perry.
Yes.
Ms. Swope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motion passes. We now have the added, I'll congratulate the two members of the Drug and Alcohol Executive Commission. Next, we have number 7, the Act 13 Committee.
Motion. Could I,
Well,
could I just
let him state the,
state the reason?
yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Well, we do need you need to make the motion first.
Before we.
I move that the Act 13 committee be recognized by county council as a standing committee comprised of 3 council members selected by the council chair and shall function under the following parameters. All funds received by Luzerne County from the Commonwealth's Act 13 Marcellus Shale Grant Program shall be deposited into a single county account dedicated solely to Act 13 activity. Any and all expenditures from this account shall first be requested before the committee and voted upon by the committee at a properly advertised Act 13 committee meeting. And all committee approved expenditures shall subsequently be presented to county council for their approval at a public council meeting.
Did you want to make the second since you tried to make the motion?
And
Okay, then we can discuss it now. There's a first and a second.
on the question, Madam?
Yeah, really quickly, those exact words, we have them in writing, right? Is that the,
Yeah, I don't think I changed it.
okay, just so you didn't change, just so we can make sure Sharon gets it for the.
Okay.
for the minutes.
Yeah, and the reason I proposed this, it's not established a new committee, it's the same committee, it's just firming it up. Some of us believe that some of the expenditures out of that fund it was kind of loosely run, and the oversight in the past might have been kind of less than what was expected. I did this in the interest of improving transparency with the public so that the public has an option of weighing in on any and all expenses that the Act 13 committee approves to go forward to county council for their approval. And we'll discuss more when we have an Act 13 committee, which I'd like to have very soon if we could. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call on that, please?
Mr. Venus?
Yes.
Mr. LaScavitch?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardo?
Yes.
Dermott?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Thornton?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Yes.
Mr. Lovett?
Yes.
Ms. Welch?
Yes. Okay, motion passes. We now have public comment and these slips. That's the voting. Actually, the first one on. Mr. Griffin.
Members of council, fellow citizens, Greg Griffin, Swoyersville. I want to thank Real Estate Committee Chairperson McDermott for working further on the shortage of housing problem. And Council Member McDermott's interview with the press was very helpful in addressing the issue that there are not enough affordable houses to purchase. It was also good to see State Rep Haddock and Pittston Mayor Lombardo also speak about the housing shortage. Our Citizens Real Estate Committee we formed has spoken with many citizens who cannot find a house to rent or buy. We encourage the Council Real Estate Committee to reach out to these KOZ and these LRTA tax break recipients in the past and the future KOZ and LRTA recipients who will be applying. They are bringing in possibly thousands of new residents, further causing housing shortages. We need these large corporations who are bringing in thousands of new residents to join with the real estate committee to bring about more housing with affordable mortgages. These corporations need to contribute financially since they are profiting on these 10-year tax breaks. There are not enough homes that are affordable for our young people. The young people, the brain drain, they're moving out of the valley because they can't find a house to purchase. And so we're bringing in these thousands of jobs, and these tax break corporations. They need to be part of the solution. And we need to hit them up, ask them to help contribute to the whole plan. Mayor Lombardo was speaking about it. Representative Haddock was speaking about it. The whole plan to build 1,000 starter homes across Earth Conservancy acreage. But I want to thank Real Estate Chairperson McDermott. You did what you said you were going to do. You furthered this conversation. You've got Representative Haddock and Mayor Lombardo on board. So we just got to keep moving. We got to keep our young people here. We got to give them a piece of the American dream. Put the whole plan together, and let's build some starter homes for these people. Otherwise, they're just going to leave, or they're going to have to live in their parents' basements. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Any of the members of the public that are here that wish to speak? Okay. Sure. I like it. Let's keep it going. Mr. Fitzgerald.
Mrs. Thornton, thank you. I wasn't expecting that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you see value in me. And Steve, appreciate that you see value in people that were once washed up, that once we turn our lives around, that you too actually, it's easy when someone's perfect to get everybody to vote for them. But when someone is down and out and makes a turnaround, that was not easy in life, that you see value in me. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. But I don't need the rest of you. You can all just pound. I do it without you guys. I do it every day. Before you walked in here, I talked to the warden. And earlier today I was at a black church.
And I realize a lot of the Black residents need support. And I asked the warden earlier in the conversation, I said, how can we get the pastor so we can have a transition? So I don't need you. It's your loss. It's the county's loss, but I'm still gonna fight. I'm still gonna help people with or without you. Whether you like me or not, I don't care. I like me. And I did it for a lot of years. And I could have given that to other people, and I'm still going to. Mr. Thorne, Mr. Urban, thank you. God bless you.
Any other members of the public? Okay. We have a couple hands up on the Zoom. Controller Griffith?
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you very much. I just wanted to bring council's attention to the work session because I know the public comment is after the work session. So I want council to take note to the work session agenda. And I know it's a very busy division head summary page that is always presented to council. So we get an idea of what's happening in the county. And sometimes things get missed in the reports because it's so busy and a lot of people don't read all the details. So I would like council to take a minute of their time to take a look at page 4. I think it's 4 of the work session agenda when you get there. And just take notice to the human resources page where it says they have now eliminated the Kronos auto punch has been removed from the county Kronos system. That is something that when I was on council that I brought up to Manager Pedri. It's been something as a controller that I've been raising continually to the county council. Kudos to the new manager to take the initiative to take care of that issue where people actually have to punch in and punch out to be paid in the county. Auto punch was put in back in the Corona days for a valid reason, but it outlived its usefulness and it became a vehicle for people to get paid without punching in or out. So kudos to the manager for making sure that we corrected that, as well as the administrative division head, Jen Pecora, as well as Jessica Grischlein for her efforts to get that removed. I just want to make sure that everybody on council recognizes that in your division head report. I know it's very, very important, and sometimes we miss important details in those reports. So I just wanted to point that out for council's review. So thank you so much to the manager, to the division head, and to the HR director for that excellent work in getting that taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, Controller Griffith. Any other members of the public?
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
Just quick comment. On Labor Day, council was invited, and I attended up to the 911 center, and county manager Markham was there, Councilman McGinley was there, and I'll tell you, I just want to thank 911 for a wonderful time. You got to see these workers. They have to work on Labor Day. They don't get to take time off like most people on Labor Day, and Labor Day weekend happens to be a stressful weekend. A lot of people are out partying and swimming and boating, and they have to be there to take those calls. But the employees brought in their own food dishes and food items, and I gotta tell you, it was delicious. I mean, the food was amazing. One of their employees was actually a culinary school graduate or something, and he prepared these giant pieces of steak out on the grill, brought them inside. It was too hot, so we all ate inside. And the dessert table was amazing. But I just want to thank.
Cut the cake.
I did cut everybody. You know, a lot of people are afraid to cut that first piece of cake. I'm not one of those people. So I did cut the cake, and I want to thank Mrs. Lucy Morgan for hosting us, and she did a great job there.
Awesome, thank you. We have a motion to adjourn.
I agree with everything that the support said. I also, you know, there's a lot of other employees who work with the county are on a 24/7 schedule. And yeah, Labor Day is, you know, everybody wants to go out and have a good time and enjoy it, family, etc. But we have a lot of people that have to come to work and do really important work all the time because they might be a little bit short-staffed, there are emergencies that go on. So I do want to recognize all the groups that work 24/7. It's a significant number of people. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the voting session is adjourned. Are you guys good if we just go straight through to work? All right, we're motoring. It is 6:52. We're going to call the work session to order. We're going to do the pledge of allegiance, but I would like to have a moment of silence as yesterday was the anniversary of 9/11 and I should have recognized it during our voting session and did not. So if we could please just have a moment of silence. Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Venus.
Present.
Mr. LaScavitch.
Here.
Mr. Lombardo.
Here.
Ms. McDermott.
Here.
Mr. McGinley.
Present.
Mr. Perry. Here. Mr. Thornton.
Here.
Mr. Urban.
Here.
Mr. Lovett.
Here.
Ms. Bo.
Here.
Motion to accept the agenda with rule number 5.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Opposed?
Aye.
Agenda is adopted. We'll go right to number 1, receive and discussion, division reports for August 2023.
Thank you. And to piggyback a little bit on what Councilman Jordan, Councilman Dinley said, we do have a number of employees that do have to work on holidays, and we have departments that are 24/7 prison, as an example. I do want to highlight our lunch at 9/11. We had a very open and honest discussion. I think that it was evident that 911 staff has turned the corner. They are working well together, and I can report that 911 and EMA are collaborating together. The other thing I want to mention, I really do believe that we need more collaboration in the county. During just the course of our conversation, we were talking about how 911 has to direct the first responders to where, for example, fire is. And there are times because of certain zoning issues, and we don't have control over those zoning issues. We don't know that there's a type of structure that's being built at a site and that we're sending firefighters or police to. So when we were sitting there, I decided I'm going to have our planning and zoning work with 911, that whenever we have a new structure that's put on county property or within this zoning area that we cover, 911 will be notified. So they don't have to read the paper about new businesses that are going in that they might have to send responders to. We will also reach out to the municipalities to give that information to 911. And hopefully we will save our first responders, our firefighters, and our police, save some lives and prevent some injuries. It's very near and dear to my heart. I was in New York City on September 11th, and I saw first responders careening down Fifth Avenue, some of them to their death. So I will do whatever I need to do to make our first responders safe. And I look forward to the collaboration between 911 and our zoning officials. I want to turn council's attention to elections. We are in full bloom. The race is on. We're passing the baton to each other so that we can cross the finish line with a victory, and we will. We've done a lot, and we're doing a lot each day. I send weekly reports, but I'm going to go through what's highlighted in this report. We had the electronic poll book demo on August 3rd with the 2 vendors. We reviewed the surveys from the public regarding those poll book demonstrations. We did interviews with the vendors for the poll books. We mailed out new polling place agreements for the general municipal election. I'm signing them in my wrist shirts. We continued work with campaign finance procedures, which we're working with the controller on. We've prepared the budget for the 2024 fiscal year, as with the other departments. A new deputy director, Emily Cook, who's in the audience, was hired. And we began proofing ballots. And it's something we will do for the next few weeks. And we have what I like to call the I-team group of employees that will be proofing and exchanging ballots. We've updated the election calendar with meeting with our consultant. We published the military and overseas voter notice. We published a list of candidates, offices, and ballot questions. We scheduled the logic and accuracy testing for the November election, which will be made open to the public. We ordered our provisional ballot materials. We scheduled the voting system training for administration. We scheduled training for election night reporting website. Our staff has attended several virtual trainings. We fulfilled the right to know requests, and we have the ongoing voter application process, and the ongoing ballot application processing. And we're strategizing on a recruitment for poll workers. We're going into high schools, and we're going to the active adult centers. We're collaborating with the Area Agency on Aging. We believe that there's a resource there that those members and I have the pleasure of meeting a few, because I've been touring some of our active adult centers, and I really encourage members of council to go there. I do want to say that I'm the air hockey champion of the Hazleton area, the adult center, and we're going into high schools. I believe we're sending out flyers today. So I want everyone in this room and everyone who is listening, we are going to have a successful election in 2023. And it's because of the hard work of the Election Bureau. They are doing extraordinary work. They're working as a team. They're thinking about creative ideas on how to make the system more transparent. And we'll be reporting those things going forward. I also want to mention our purchasing department. We don't really give it much attention, but it's vital to the county and how we process our invoices and how we post our RFPs. We're looking at that with the head of administrative services, Jen Pecora, with the assistance of the controller, Walter Griffith, and with budget and finance and the Office of Law. We are going to restructure our RFP process so that there are multiple eyes on it, and that we really hit key points in our RFPs. We're also looking at our invoicing system to make sure that none of the invoices fall through the crack. I believe Councilman Thornton mentioned some of the Act 13 invoices. They probably should have been processed differently, and we will create a system that is accurate. So if there's any other questions on any of the issues that are raised in the division report, please don't hesitate to contact me.
Just quick one, I do have a question about staffing. How's the vacancy rate?
I have a vacancy meeting tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I can send the numbers. I can tell you that our 911, our vacancy rates are decreasing. I know with CYS, I'm signing more recs that are bringing on case workers. We need to get more supervisors for CYS. That really is where we need to concentrate. I believe our sheriff's department vacancies are decreasing. So we're trending in the right direction. But we have work to do. I think there was, for 911, 2 of the workers were on PA Live today, trying to promote working for 911. And we just hired a new deputy at CYS, and I'm hoping her addition will help generate more staffing at CYS. During her interview, I can tell you she had some really good ideas. And hopefully those will get implemented.
The public defender's office particularly.
Well, Steve Greenwald is here. I think we just hired a new public defender.
One woman started today, Friday, I'm sorry. I'm an interview tomorrow morning at 9. I'm being very aggressive in recruiting, and there were some constraints I felt in the past with the structure of the charter. So I'm within the confines of the charter. I'm reaching out, instead of, for example, to 8 law schools in Pennsylvania, over 40 schools across the country. So progress. I'm counting the 2 people that I gave up with the last manager. I'm down 10 lawyers out of what used to be 28.
But those 2 positions are gone, right?
Correct.
So it's 8, is that what you're saying?
You can say 8.
Okay. That's the 8 positions to fill.
8 open positions.
Okay.
It's that new math, Steve.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't learn that. I'm the old guy.
Hey, you said.
Yeah.
I'll let you know that all the time.
Thank you. Any other questions for Manager Kokomo? Okay, thank you for your report. Next is the discussion regarding poll books. Did you want to say anything or wait to Miss before? And
I'll just do an intro.
Yeah, sure.
We have Jim or Emily Cook can speak to the particulars. What we are suggesting is that we do a program with knowing to see if they work and they work well with our polling places. It's not ideal if council eventually does agree to finance, knowing to start in the middle of the primary, to start at a primary for presidential election, but the turnaround time to do it for this general election, it just wasn't going to happen. And we've had discussions among ourselves. The controller actually offered some advice, and we talked to other counties, and some of them do these pilot programs. We think that that is the best option right now, and I'll have either Jen or Emily come up to give particulars.
thank you.
You get both of us tonight.
Perfect.
So like the county manager said, we're going to be doing a pilot program with 30 precincts of our 186 precincts. The pilot program that we have set up with knowing we have decided on precincts that are historically very good with our technology, and some precincts that are historically a bit of a challenge when it comes to new technology, so that we've got a good sample size, and we've got a good sample within that sample size of what the full election with this equipment will look like. We decided on this program after discussing with several other counties and with the vendors on what our options would be. Obviously, we're in a pretty tight timeline right before the general election, so launching a full scale election with brand new equipment was not ideal. So at this point, moving into the pilot program, we'll have at least 30 precincts. If this is a successful pilot program, we'll then move forward, and the remaining 186 precincts will have all the electronic poll books. And that'll give us a jump start with some that already have experience moving into the presidential primary next year.
Thank you. Council questions?
Who's funding this?
We're going to be using, excuse me, I'm fighting a cold. We're going to be using election integrity grant funds for this.
We did receive our funding.
We did receive our funding, yes.
$1,038,000.
Excellent.
Go ahead, Mr. Moore.
Just a quick question. I read an email today from Controller Griffith, and it would seem like a very good item he brought up to address. So he wrote where some counties or one county was quite surprised at the added expense of one or both vendors that were looking at that when it came time to sync up or link up the results with the SURE system of the state. There was an added cost put back on the county. So I imagine you guys are addressing that.
We have looked into that. That was something that we were aware of prior to Controller Griffith as well. That was something that we've experienced in the past. So we were aware of that.
Yeah, because salespeople are salespeople, you know, and I know them well. Sometimes they don't disclose everything.
Right.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay, number 3, discussion regarding resolution authorizing the county manager to execute a contract with Justice Works LLC for legal software upgrade. Okay.
Just by way of explanation, about 15 years ago, the Public Defender's Office purchased and installed a program called Defender Data produced by Justice Works. It's my case management software. It actually pulls data from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, something that we were able to accomplish a few years ago. The Commonwealth uses a system called CPCMS. Every event that happens in the court, all the courts gets entered into CPCMS. My program, Justice Works, pulls its data automatically from CPCMS, populates our calendar. It's also a vehicle by which we store basically every piece of paper. My office can be paperless if we want it to be. There's also an app. I have access to every file, every piece of paper in my office on my phone. We were contacted by Defender Data about a year ago and were told that they would no longer be supporting the present iteration of their program. We know that we had 2 options going forward. One option was not really palatable to me. It would have been basically an a la carte type menu in order to bring over all the data and all the different customizations we've used. For example, we have added a customization. We have a picture of every one of our clients. It's just a kind of a small example. So this is something that needs to be done. It's a project which they anticipate would take place, would begin in April of 2024. It would take about 6 months to complete. But for my purposes, for the county's purposes, just as an example, when a software program is unsupported or is no longer supported, one of the things that happens is there's no more software patches that the company would add. But more importantly, there's no security updates. So I don't know about you, but I get pretty much 3 or 4 emails a week that are phishing or spam trying to break into the county system. And this is one step that we can do to try to eliminate that to breaking into Justice Works or breaking into the county through Justice Works. So I see it as essentially a requirement. It's something that we need to do for my office to continue to run efficiently, to run on time, and basically to continue to do the stuff that we're doing.
Thank you, Attorney Greenwald. Any questions?
Who's paying for this?
The Luzerne County taxpayers.
Do you have money in your budget current?
In my 2023 budget,
Current budget?
I do not. I mean,
If I read correctly, 2024, middle of 2024, the town is telling you not going to support it.
that's correct.
So if we do it through the budget process and add that money into your budget at that time, that would give you enough time, 6 months or so.
Well, it's already been added into the proposed budget. I'm not sure I understand your question.
Well, yeah, so if it's in the proposed budget, if we pass the budget, which I think we will, and money will be there for you to move ahead,
Yes.
instead of doing this now. Where you said you don't have money in the budget, so now we'd have to look for a fund to pay for that.
I can't do it now because Justice Works isn't ready to do it now. There's a long list of offices that are doing this, including
Starts
pretty
in
much
April.
just about every federal public defender office in the country. The soonest they can get to me is April of 2024.
Okay, so if it's in the 24 budget, you're fine.
Right. So the reason I'm here is just to authorize the execution of an agreement by the manager. I'm not authorized to execute contracts more than $25,000. And the contract, basically their offer was due to be accepted on or before August 31st.
Well, we didn't know about that.
I did.
You did? but
Yes.
did we know about it here?
Probably not.
Okay. Would have been helpful if that's what you needed, August 31st, to have us in the loop.
I have a feeling that everybody in this room has contracts that they're going to execute in 2024 or execute in 2023 for work to be done in 2024.
If it's in the budget, that's one thing.
Attorney Greenwald, just to clarify, you need to have the county, you're seeking approval for the county manager to execute the contract now, but the cost won't be incurred until 2024. Is that correct? Okay.
You're not spending money this year.
Right.
Right.
And I didn't know about this, Mr. McGinley, a year ago when we were doing the 2023 budget.
That's fine, but I think the procedure would be much better if we do it. You know, obviously, I believe you need a prudent office to have a management software system, particularly with the number of people that might be servicing. But I do think there was a little drop the ball kind of thing here.
So you wanted to meet, just for my own sake,
Sorry?
did you want me to come to you last year about this when we were adopting the 2023 budget
Sure.
before I knew about it?
No, if you knew about it,
I
sure.
did not know about it. I'm saying to you, I did not know about it in July and August of 2023.
I also understand that you have a deadline of August 31st and yet you didn't come to us.
Here now.
September.
Okay, gentlemen,
If
hindsight's
you want me to
20/20.
throw
This is
somebody
important.
under the bus, I'm not going to. do
No,
it.
I understand.
That's
that.
different.
I'm not
Mr.
going- I'm
McGinley,
not going
Attorney
to do
Greenwald, please.
This is probably a dumb question there. I just have to ask. So there's currently 8 vacancies there that you're trying to fill for positions, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going into the 2023 budget season, which was last fall. There were vacancies, and I'm not sure if there was money budgeted for those positions. And if there was, and they're not filled, isn't that money still there in your budget available?
The technical answer is yes, of course. And you know that those budgets, those positions were fully budgeted in the 2023 budget.
Okay.
That money hasn't been subject to a budget transfer.
So it's still there, sitting there.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I was just trying to clarify. Thank you.
Attorney Skeen.
And just to clarify, even though it was August 31st, you got an extension, so they'll still, if it's approved.
I accepted the proposal conditioned upon the county council's acceptance of this agenda item. I was very specific in my response to Justice Works Defender data that should you guys decide that I'm or the county doesn't need to update this software, then my acceptance would not be valid.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, great. Thanks, Attorney Greenwald. Moving on, discussion regarding ordinance amending the capital plan budget for Luzerne County. This is the operations item.
There's no one here from operations tonight, but the agenda submittal is pretty self-explanatory. It's for a project regarding water infiltration on the River Street side courthouse. It needs to be sealed. the total cost of the project is $205,000. The project will be done in 2 phases. It's half for the first part of the project, and then we will have to come back for the second half if council approves the amendment to the capital plan.
Thank you. Any questions, council?
How many bids did we get for that?
I actually don't know, but I can tell you. I will get that. What I do know is that I know we had discussions of 2 possible vendors. The vendor, I think that they're choosing is one that is giving us a guarantee, the other one did not, but I'll get you all that information.
And this is in the basement.
Basement of this building. If you want to see it, we'll take it down.
This is our capital plan. Money in there for the UPS.
UPS, I believe, for EMA 911 is coming from 911 and EMA.
I'll entertain a motion to pass the capital plan. Put it in there.
Right, but I subsequently have been told that the money can come from 911 and portion from EMA.
Okay. We now have public comment. Any members of the public that wish to speak? Hearing none, can we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions, opposed? That's
No.
never happened. in 20 years. Wow. Turn on the light.
Yes, I changed my vote.